hello.
The 36th, am I right?
36.
36th hour of Adventurers Wanted, which will be 250 hours in total. Just so you're aware, this is a relaxed performance. All of our shows are relaxed performances. I feel like having some drinks in hand kind of adds to the feel. What it means basically is that the lights will always stay like this. There won't be any loud sudden noises. We are.
You say that. Sorry.
I can't totally speak for.
I can't vouch for it.
But also, we have a relaxed attitude to movement and sound from the audience for the benefit of people who would struggle to be still and silent for an hour. Also, if you need to pop out at any time, then just head out through those doors. There's the seats outside. You can take a breather, and then you can come back in at any time during the hour. If you happen to need anything during the show, like a hearing loop system or something, but you guys seem like you're okay. But I'll just be in the corner. My name's Chloe. I'm the stage manager for this hour. And I will now pass over to Chris, who is our DM.
Hello.
GM.
GM.
For Games Master.
GM for Games
this
Master.
hour. And sorry, I almost forgot. This is Isla, who is our BSL interpreter, who will be interpreting everything that happens in
Everything that happens in an improvised show.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we have a BSL interpreter.
Festisio.
Every day.
Amazing. Amazing.
That was incredible. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
Yeah.
I'm Chris. I'm the Games Master for this hour of Adventurers Wanted. A quick breakdown of what tabletop role-playing games are for the uninitiated. I will be telling a story. I will be asking these gentlemen to my left and right what they want to do, and then we will use dice rolls to decide whether they achieve it or not. It's as simple as that. It's just adding a small random element to trying to tell stories and improvise together. Where we're up to at this point in the story of Adventurers Wanted, we are the crew of the Spirit of the Horizon, which is a ship that was taken from its home sea, plane, planet, we're not so sure, through a magical spell that was cast to escape from a gigantic, hideous elder god to go into a mystical new universe that we have now found ourselves in. And the crew are trying to get home, trying to make a home, trying to understand where they've ended up and what happens next. In that process, they've made friends with pirates, fought off zombies, dealt with all sorts of manners of beasties and puzzles and adventures. At this point in time, they are currently on the search for a mythical pirate island called Libertalia. In the process of finding Libertalia, they've made their way through a bunch of trials and are now currently in the middle of trying to deal with some puzzles in the middle of an old temple. For the purposes of the story, there is a teleportation effect between the ship and the party at any given time, which explains why certain players and characters come and go at any given time. It's, in story terms, a feedback loop from the spell that got them there in the first place, in case that confuses anybody.
I don't understand if that helps.
Don't worry, he will in character in a second.
Yes. Sorry.
Right. So at the moment, a party made up of the acting captain now, he has officially accepted the title, Captain Golan Height, and a group of his crew were in the middle of dealing with a room full of puzzles. When a yellow, mystical light surrounds them, there's probably a muttered curse of, "Oh no, not again," and then they disappear out of existence. Only for these two to reappear. Now, could you please introduce yourself as the human being that you are, then as the character that you are, and say who you are on the ship and what you were doing right before you arrived at this point?
My name's Edward Cartwright. My character is called Gwendolyn Skull. It's actually a bloke, which might be confusing, but he is an excellent man. What was I doing? I was the master of the ship, which means I kind of keep everybody in order. And I presume I was belaboring some kind of cabin boy or something before this happened.
You absolutely could have been, yeah.
That's
why not?
a distinct possibility. I had a rope's end in hand, and now I'm suddenly in a room where I'm going, this is surprising.
So you've appeared in this room with a rope in your hand, but your armor, your weaponry, anything like that?
I'm always ready.
Always ready?
Always ready.
Oh, good. Well, that's good
Absolutely.
for story terms. Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, you can prove that. Excellent.
Convenient.
Convenient, as they say. Yes.
Yeah.
Alex.
My name is Alex. I am playing Beda Blood Oath. Beda is a half-orc paladin.
Oh, yeah.
He is a paladin of a goddess of wilderness who has found his way onto the ship, and he likes to spend his time when he's not engaged in anything just sat on the deck, staring wistfully out over the wild oceans and muttering incantations and prayers of thanks to his goddess of wilderness.
Excellent. Well, you both arrive in a temple. To give you an idea, it is a large underground room. It is basically circular. There are doors to the north, south, east, west. There are handles between the doors, so to the north, west, south, in between bits.
Yes.
And on the floor is a map of this world that you have found yourselves in, and some bits of that map have been rotated because they're not all lining up properly at the moment. At this point in time, that is all you know. What would you like to do?
Just to check. I know this guy already.
Yeah,
Shipmates.
shipmates.
On the ship.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, of course, shipmates. That works. Where the hell are we?
I don't know, but
Okay.
I assume we are on the island next to the ship.
We probably have to sort out whatever's going on here. Okay.
You were probably getting some kind of progress report from the captain of the ship as the adventures were being carried on, but I doubt he went into too much detail about what happened in the last 5 minutes.
Also, I wouldn't have cared.
Okay, good, lovely.
Okay, so we've got to do something. Let's look here. Okay, so we're in a space and we've got 4 doors. I go over to the west-facing door and try to open it.
It is in fact an open
just
door space, and
I
you
will-
can walk straight through it.
I will look.
Follow him.
Well, hang on, I'm not going through it yet. I'm going to look through it.
Oh, make a
See what I
perception
can
check.
Okay. First one. Where the hell's my perception? All right. That's an 8.
An 8. Is that adding a modifier and everything?
Yes.
It is splendid.
It's not good enough.
It's dark in the room. Oh, it's so dark. I mean, you can make out shapes
things.
on the floor. It looks
Gotcha.
kind of rugged terrain and a sort of flat table in front of you.
Do you think there's going to be any nasties around here? Do you think there's going to be any problems?
I walk up behind you and using my half-orcish dark vision, I peer into the room beyond, seeing it clearly.
Make a perception check as well.
14.
14, splendid. In front of you in this room is a waist-high table. It's a waist-high stone table. It's about 7 feet wide, and on the floor around it are various corpse detritus pieces, bone, skulls, maybe even some tattered flesh in a corner.
This does not seem good.
Should we leave this room for the moment?
I am going to use my divine sense to glean, to see whether there is anything evil within 60 feet of me. Until the end of my next turn, I know the location of any celestials, fiends, or undeads within 60 feet of me.
There's nothing in front of you as your sense widens, and how do you perceive your divine sense? Is it visual? Is it oral?
Beda hears it. It's like a crashing wave, which sort of roars around in a circle, and where there are things that it can pick up, it crashes as if the sound of a wave against a rock.
There is the definite sound of the crash of a wave against a rock in this room.
Can I pinpoint
Yeah?
where it is within the room? Is
Absolutely.
it in the centre or onto the side?
It's to the side. It's moving a little. Did you announce what you were going to do verbally? Did you say what you were going to do? Did you just do it?
With the divine sense?
Yes.
I just did it.
It's moving. I think it's trying to find out what you're doing, but it doesn't seem to be making any sudden gestures.
So I'm aware that there is a
Absolutely.
being
There
in
is
this
a being.
room.
There is a
And
being in
it's-
this room.
And it's either I know whether it's celestial, fiend, or undead.
It is a fiend.
So I drop my voice to a almost barely inaudible whisper. I say, "There is evil in this room."
I throw myself back against the wall and kind of get out my heavy crossbow.
Ah.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Beda stands prepared, warhammer in hand, ready to deal significant damage to anything that would cross him.
You hear a voice echoing around the room saying, "Oh, so you know I'm here, do you?" I mean, it could be. Oh, so you know I'm here, do you? Closer? No. No, just New Jersey. It's fine. There's a sort of buzzing noise, and suddenly the voice seems to move across the room.
Beda is not smart. The idea of being talked at by whatever it was he suggested has confused him somewhat, and he looks to the master for some sense of guidance in terms of what maybe he should do next.
Where'd the other guys go? They were fun.
We don't know. We're here now.
Right, okay, that makes perfect sense. An upside-down world, which this isn't. So what's going on? Who are you guys?
Beda's stepping away from the doorway.
I think we're both stepping away.
Back towards the centre of the room that they're already in.
Yes.
In the middle of this map on the floor.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, onto that. And he's still holding his warhammer in front of him. And I think he just starts muttering to himself, Lady of the Wilderness, protect me.
Oh, for God. Okay. There's a clap, there's a popping noise, and a small humanoid creature with wings pops into existence in the middle of the room. He was clearly invisible before, but now you can see him. He is fluttering himself in midair, looking at two of you, going, "They were so close. You should finish it off."
What were they about to finish off? Maybe we can.
The puzzles, you fools! The puzzles.
Great.
They were so close.
Great. How do you do the puzzles?
Well, I can't tell you how to do the
Obviously.
puzzles.
How do we interact with the puzzles?
You were looking into the room just a second ago.
All right.
Go on, I can watch you do it then. That'll be great fun.
Beda has remembered that this is where people went off, and he says, with this new information in hand, says they were nearly there.
Yep, 3 out of 4.
3 out of which one is left?
Points back to the west room, the one you were just looking into.
The room that we were just looking in.
That's a hell of a guess. Okay.
1 in 4. Then.
Apparently. Right. So still holding the crossbow readied. I would say. So all we have to do is finish the puzzle which is in this room.
Yeah.
Good. Is it dangerous?
Who can say?
Interesting.
He flutters up and lands on your shoulder, just boink, up there.
Whoa.
Just did it.
Beda is totally not cool with that. He does like normally he's quite a straight-laced, stern, solid man, half orc.
Very, very big man.
At this moment, he loses his cool, and he's he's just suddenly discovered that he's got an extra head or something like that, and he's like just.
I mean, I'd say make an attack roll, but make a flail roll.
What do I add to my flail?
I think you add your proficiency. I think you're proficient in flailing.
That is a 6.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Flailing.
He sort of flutters around your head. He's enjoying mocking you. He's enjoying that you're doing this. Just keeps getting a bit close, going, "Go on, I bet you can hit me. I bet you can hit me."
Neither of us are the most intelligent. Please do not taunt the half-orc.
Fine. Look, I have one job, is to make sure that whoever comes in here manages to complete the room. So,
Fair enough.
complete the room.
So you're on our side. That's good to know. Okay.
Wow.
Still with my heavy crossbow ready. I go into the room, into the west room. So step through the door.
Are you wearing any armor?
I am.
As you walk up towards the front of the room and try and pass through the doorway, boom, you are bounced off it.
Yes, I see. Okay.
Beda sees that, assumes that it is puny human weakness,
Okay.
and attempts to enter the room himself.
What kind of speed is he trying to enter the room?
Oh, just at normal walking pace.
A normal walking pace.
Yeah. It's the kind of like patronising.
Step aside.
I've got this.
Oh, you just bounce off it. It's like you've encountered something quite hard, like a sort of wooden door, but it's invisible. You can't pass through the gateway.
Did my weapon go through? Or
Yeah, your hands went through fine. That's when I encountered your buddy. Your buddy.
Yep, my buddy. Okay. I feel like as a half elf, I do have dark vision as well. Did I just not use it before?
Let's say you forgot how to look in the
Fair
dark.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's fine. So if I can scan the room and see, because there was a table.
There
There
is
was
about waist high table stone platform. It's about 7 feet long and it's about 3 feet high. And
An altar.
one could call it an altar if I was looking for that word.
Could a paladin call it an altar?
I think a paladin specifically would call it an altar. Yes.
Excellent.
And around it are bodies, bones, corpse
Flesh,
pieces,
things.
flesh.
How much do you know about sacrificing? So the first thing we could
Beda
do.
does not know much about sacrifice.
Fair enough. Okay, so I am going to, considering that it felt like it was my armor that was stopping me, I'm going to take off my armor.
Ooh.
Place it down beside the door. Very carefully, checking if anything changes. And then try and go back into the room with my crossbow still ready.
Please do make a perception.
That's fine. That's a 4.
It's dark.
Yeah,
And once
really.
again, you forget how to see in the dark. You wouldn't think you could forget how to see in the dark, but you can.
I
You
haven't
can.
had enough carrots. Obviously.
Yeah,
That's the
probably
problem. Okay, so I stop, given that I can't see what's going on, but I have got through the door, right?
Yes, you're through the doorway. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So through in the doorway, can I move my? Still keeping the bow ready. Can I put my foot through the bones, as it were, seeing if there's anything that's still living or alive, or?
Yeah, sure. Of course you can.
I guess it's a.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
No.
Okay.
Beda has seen him go through. Take his armor off.
Yeah.
Which he is a little. He finds that idea condescending, but he sees him pass through, and he thinks, obviously, this must be the only thing that he can do in order to pass through. So he reluctantly shirks off and drops his chainmail in a beside the door.
How does he feel not being armored?
He feels. He doesn't feel too bad about it.
Okay.
He feels like he feels slightly weaker, but generally his goddess is one of expanse and vastness, and therefore to be clothed in things is not necessarily an important
So it's
part
not a
of the
big problem.
religion.
Cool. Well, if you make your way and make a perception check again, have a look.
4.
Once again, it is dark. I mean, you can sort of feel your way into the room. It is still relatively dark in there, obviously, but as you feel your way in, you can start to get a better sense of the shape and size of the room. It is much like the one you were just in, a dome across the top of it, and the main feature is this grey altar-like table in the middle of the room, which is lit better than the rest of the room.
Okay, so once he's come in with me, and I can see that he is be a watch. So I'm going to put my crossbow down and actually do an investigation check on the bones. See if I can find anything shiny or interesting.
Please do.
5.
Well, you make your way through the skeletons and the bones. There's nothing much there, but you do see, rather obviously, lying at the top is a dagger on the table.
Right. Right. I wish to... Lying on top of the table, you say?
Yes.
So I'm going to get my crossbow and sort of flick it, as it were, so I don't touch it. Flick it off the altar.
It clatters to the floor.
Excellent. B, do you want to pick that up?
Do Do I want to pick that up?
I don't know. Do you want to pick that up? Maybe try and persuade him.
Okay, I'll try a persuasion check. That'll
Actually,
work.
do you want to pick it up? Something bad will happen to him.
What?
Do you think something bad will happen to him?
I'm very suspicious of that possibility. Yes.
Make a deception check.
Oh damn it! All right, fine.
I'm going to roll insight against it.
That's a cock. Hang on. Okay, 21.
11.
You feel strongly
21
compelled
is
that
like
this is a good idea and a good suggestion.
Cool.
Yeah.
Beta reaches out and takes the dagger from the floor.
Right. When you look at the dagger, you can see that it has written on it, in common, which is the language that you speak, a sacrifice is required.
Yeah. Interesting.
Beta has the dagger in his hand, so Beta's the only person who knows that.
Yes, true.
And he says, "This dagger says, the most important must be sacrificed."
Make a deception check.
I need an insight check up.
Yeah, just to counter it, yes, please.
Oh fuck.
Okay, they were both bad, so which was worse?
Mine
6.
3. I cannot believe I believe you. Okay.
Do you believe that this dagger says that on it?
Yeah, got you.
What you do with that information is your choice.
I
however.
understand. I go, all right, then give it to me. Bede, what's wrong?
I can't let go of it.
You can't let go of it.
It seems to be stuck in my hand.
So, given that you can't let go of it,
I think we're probably another deception check here. I think we're reaching that point.
18.
fuck it. 13.
It appears to be stuck in his hand.
Fine. Okay. Does that mean that you have to be the one to make the sacrifice, and I've got to be the sacrifice?
It said the most important must be sacrificed.
Well, I am clearly your superior. That means that I have to be sacrificed.
Technically, you wouldn't be his superior. Technically, you are richer than him, and you are more important than him. But in terms of
Technically, I am your
militaristic,
superior.
It says the most important must be sacrificed.
what alignment is your paladin?
He's neutral, looking after himself.
So
Pretty much the same as me, really.
yeah,
Okay.
sure, okay.
Fine. There is nothing alive in here. Let us go to the altar. So I'm going to say, come over to the altar here.
Mhm.
I'm going to put my hand out over the altar.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say to Beda, draw some blood.
Beta's just gonna crack a finger open and just double check what it did say. just to remind himself that he's not.
I'm waiting.
He got caught up in his own deception and he's forgotten what it actually said. He walks over and he pangs it into the hand.
Whoa!
Right, the attack roll is on a guaranteed hit because you weren't defending yourself.
No.
You're not wearing any armor anyway.
No.
So can you roll for damage, please? That's 1d4 plus your dexterity and 1d6 necrotic.
Whoa! Okay,
Yeah.
right, yes, good.
1d4 plus my dex,
Yup.
which is -1. 3.
You don't
Plus-
take the minus on an attack roll. It is just
4.
4.
And 1d6 stuff necrotic.
Yes, please.
3.
You take 7 points of.
Can I have a pen?
Yes, of course. You take.
Well, he has several.
A pencil.
You take 7 points of damage in the hand,
Okay.
and there's a blackened scar around from the necrotic damage around it as well. But
Which I would recognise?
I think you'd recognise necrotic damage if you saw it. Yes.
You bastard!
There is no effect on the room.
There is no effect on the room.
Nope.
Am I bleeding?
Yes.
Can I turn it so that the blood splashes onto the altar?
Absolutely.
I do so.
You raise your hand over the altar, hold it very still, and squeeze a bit so some of the blood comes dripping out and blick, lands on the altar in front of you. Behind you, you hear, "You bunch of idiots! You gotta actually sacrifice someone, otherwise it doesn't work! Who's it gonna be, huh?"
Okay.
I'll let you two decide. Goes and just sort of sits on the door jamb, just
On the top of the door
on
jamb.
the top of the door jamb. Sat there.
So there's a wall behind him.
Yup.
Okay.
Beda has seen. He went. The reason he stabbed so hard was because he thought that what was important in this was intent of the sacrificer.
Interesting. Okay.
Having learnt this new information, he feels bad for wounding this person, his master and erstwhile friend, for want of a better word.
Yeah.
And so he thinks partly maybe there needs to be a better sacrifice, and partly maybe this puny half-elf wasn't important enough, and that therefore maybe he is the most important person in the room now.
Does he remember that the dagger doesn't say the most important? It says that a sacrifice is required. Doesn't?
I asked you that, and you did not let me check what it said. I told you he's caught up in his deception.
Fine. No, that's okay.
Like he
problem at
was
all.
so determined to deceive that he bought his own deception.
Got a
Fine.
19.
Yeah. No problem. That's fine.
Got a
buddy.
19.
He hands the dagger out, still holding on to it, and he's like,
He's holding it out towards me.
but not at you in like a violent method.
No, got you. I am going to go over, put a hand on your chest and go, there must be somebody else.
Where?
Let's go and find one.
Okay.
Where are you going to find someone to sacrifice on an island with nobody on it except for us three?
Well, there is a question. Okay, I am going to, pick up my crossbow again, exit the room,
Sure.
put on my armor, and then look in the other 3 rooms.
In one room there are some statues with a chest in front of them. In the other there is there's a table with some cups on it. There are various bits and pieces, but it's mostly detritus.
Cool.
These are completed puzzle rooms.
Yes, absolutely. Is Peter just staying in the other room?
Peter is all kinds of confused.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna investigate the other 3 rooms to see if there's anything resembling a net.
No, nothing of that sort.
Right.
Peter is going to get up onto the platform, and he is going to stab himself in the gut.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow, okay. God.
Never fear to act, though caution is wise, is not something he believes. Beda believes there is no room for caution in a life lived to its fullest.
Excellent. As you
Are
take
you saying this?
Yeah.
Wow. In a sort of stentorian, like, big voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
He climbs up on it, swings that dagger around, like he's going to commit Sefakuru.
Yes.
Harikari, yeah.
Is there anything you want to say before he does this?
Yeah, no, I'm going to run back towards the room, get my armor off as quickly as I can.
Oh, no, it's too late.
Yeah,
no, he's done it now.
Yes.
And as the dagger curves with your own strike towards your chest, the moment that it would be impacting you, the moment that it would be making that strike, and you've committed to this, you've accepted this is going to happen, the knife just fades back into the handle. Oh my God, it took you long enough. And as you notice this, the hilt, it has written on it across where the blade would be the number 59.
Have I got back into the room by this stage? And then I
Wait,
come through the door.
in my mind, you're sort of half undressed,
Yes.
trying to get through a door that's
Yes.
holding the arm. It's sort of, damn it, trying to pull it off yourself as the door
that's
holds it out of the way.
exactly
Yeah.
But do I see what he's managed to do?
You've seen that he's tried to stab himself.
So I'm not hurrying anymore, but I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to keep removing my armor, but
Sure.
in a sensible fashion.
Sure.
Wander into the room and go, mate, well done. What did you do?
I did the right thing.
Good. Glad to hear it. What do we do now? Where's the little dude?
He's still sat on the door jamb.
Great. What do we do now?
Put the number back into the map, silly.
Great. Okay, what's the number?
It says 59.
Okay. So okay. It's only 4 rooms. Fine. I'm gonna go out and.
The central room has a map in the base of it
Yeah.
with rotating platforms.
No, that's what I mean. It's the thing of trying to figure out how what's the word? Prepared I should be. So I'm gonna get back into my armor because I realise I don't need it. So I say, come out here.
Peter walks back out. He puts his chainmail back on.
Yes.
He keeps hold of the handle of the dagger. He sort of pockets it or puts it into a pouch.
Why is he hanging on to it?
Because it is a signal of his choices and of making the right choice.
Excellent.
And he may, at some point in the future, choose to try and turn it into some kind of ornamentation or something he could wear.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, exactly.
Love it. Right, so you're back in the central room. You have a number, 59.
Yes. I would say we should be on opposite sides of the map and ready and prepared for whatever may.
Can you both make investigation checks, please?
Yes. Better. 14.
That's my 5th 3 I've rolled. Investigation.
Yes, please.
3.
What was yours?
14.
14, that's enough. The map, the parts of the map in the floor have various, they're like dials on a safe. So they are interlocking, and they have various numbers written around the edges of them, and they interlock in that way. One of them, they are currently lined up, apart from the outside one.
Okay.
That one appears to not be lined up with the rest of the map at the moment, and the various handles at the 4 alternative compass points would clearly be involved in that in some way.
Okay. I will go over and move. Sorry, the panel that's which.
If this is okay,
Which point of the compass is the one that still needs to be moved at?
you don't know.
Yes, sorry.
The western door,
Yes.
from the western door, there are handles at the northwest, at the northeast, at the southeast, and the southwest.
Yeah. Okay. So, can I look at the numbers and see where 59 is on the one that isn't?
Each of the
aligned?
circles has numbers from 0 to 100.
Right.
Well, 0 to 99.
Yeah.
So that's all the same.
Okay, fine. So, I will. Is it a turn handle? Is it a?
It's a piece of machinery. You have to sort of pull it.
Okay, cool. So I will go to the northwest corner and say to BD that go to the southeast corner. Wait for him to do it if he's going to do it.
Peter will walk over there.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I will try and use the northwest handle to move one of the wheels.
You pull the handle, there is a clanking of gears, and the outer wheel, the one you still needed to turn, starts to turn. Lucky you.
That's awesome.
As it rotates around,
Yeah.
it reaches a point where the numbers are starting to move past an arrow point that you
Yes.
see at the top.
Yes.
And you're starting to tick around about 40, 50.
Okay, it's going to stop before it gets to 59.
Are you stopping it on the dot of 59?
No. Stopping it on the dot of 58. Like
58.
Not getting round to that. I say, are you ready?
You stop it at 58.
Yes.
Right, you take...
Oh, son of a... That's right.
You take 4 points of psychic damage as there's a very clear, sonorous boom in your mind that says, "Nope, wrong!"
Okay. Are you ready? That hurt. I just had a psychic scream in my head, which just told me I got it wrong. I'm about to get it right. Are you ready for what is going to happen?
I am ready.
I click it one more.
Lovely. As you do that, above these handles in the wall are mirrors. And above you in the ceiling, there is a skylight. There's no other obvious entrance or exit to this room, so you could assume fairly that that's where the party got in. Through the skylight, you can just about see above you a hole in the ceiling with a single beam of light coming down through it. You now see that beam of light is hitting the spot above this northwest mirror. The light comes in and
Okay.
bounces off each mirror successively, and then finally is redirected into the map on the floor.
Right.
A point in between two clusters of islands, a rather relatively non-habitated part of sea that you could potentially have a look at and work out where to go from there.
Okay, I want to. All of my seafaring knowledge, which I assume as the master of a ship is fairly high, means that I want to remember that those coordinates, as it were.
A map of this area, or some of it at least, has been discovered and been used on the ship, so you could probably use that to triangulate a position.
Absolutely. So I do that, and then say, little demon dude.
Yeah.
What do we do now? We've completed it. Surely.
You found Libertalia. Congratulations. Now go there.
Great. So, do we know how to get back to the boat from here?
The way you came in, silly.
Great. Do you have any teleportation ability?
I am a paladin. I do not understand what you are talking about. Do you?
Absolutely not. I'm a fighter.
Well, we're in a pickle.
Gentlemen, can you both make intelligence checks, please?
Yes.
17.
That's fine.
Oh, wow.
1.
A modified 1, but it's...
Just out of it. What was yours?
17.
17.
There we go. I've been outwitted by a half-orc. I'm so impressed with myself.
He's a very charismatic half-orc.
You've already decepted me twice. I feel like...
So from that intelligence roll, you know that the only way out is going to be through the skylight you came in through. So maybe if you had something like, say, a rope on you or some way of getting through there, you might be able to get out that
Is
way.
there any indication that the party who came down here what means they took to get down here?
I don't think they tied off a rope. Did they tie off a rope? You did the last hour. They did tie off a rope. Lovely. Well, then there is a rope hanging down, so you can climb up that one. That's relatively easy. There we go.
So I spot the rope.
Excellent. That was what the intelligence check was for.
Nosebleed.
This is PhD level thinking for a half-orc.
I spot the rope and I look across at my somewhat bemused, like he's looking at the floor, I guess, like looking for ways out. And I say to him, "Can you climb?"
You're damn right.
And then we climb, and I just grab hold of that rope and I start trying to like overarm pull myself out of it.
You managed to get up with relative ease. Roll an athletics check, but I mean you'd have to roll pretty badly for.
How's a 10 for you?
Perfectly fine. You make your way up to the top.
I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah, sure. Go on.
Athletics or acrobatics? Oh, actually, athletics is fine. Oh, that's a 25.
Yeah, you scale that rope like a monkey. Bop, 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 bop. Very, very easy.
Totally.
As you leave the room, you hear from behind you, "See you soon."
I use my divine sense once again to see whether I can tell whether he's gone invisible as he was before, or whether he's still there.
He's gone invisible and he flutters out past you and just disappears out of the temple.
I hope I will never see your foul form again.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
Beda always speaks for himself.
He was...
Very fair assessment.
He was useful, but I do understand. I was going to shoot him.
Anyway, gentlemen, you can make your way back to the ship. The path back down out of the temple is... This island is only about big enough for the temple, so it is relatively easy to find your way back to the ship. It's an atoll. Yes.
Okay.
Make your way back to the ship, and as you make your way back to the ship, you are surrounded once again by your comrades. You haven't spent much time with them recently. I imagine you've probably been sort of locked away in your quarters trying not to deal with the situation.
I've been trying to be a badass master, like trying to keep discipline on board the ship and stuff like that. I don't mingle with the crew on a sort of social level.
Sure. Okay. How about yourself, Beda? You tend to keep to yourself, really, don't you?
Beda's a bit of a lone wolf,
I see.
or a lone orc.
But I will...
He's got a few friends, but...
I will announce to the collected conglomerate, we have discovered the, coordinates of
Libertalia.
Of Libertalia. Bask in our magnificence.
Captain Golan gives you a look and says, right. Well, I suppose we should probably go there then.
Yeah!
Yes, very
yeah,
good.
Totally, that's the best idea.
And he walks off with Josin, the half-orc commander of the Marines, and they start preparing the ship to head to these coordinates, which you've marked out on the map.
Yes, I go over and stick like a pin.
At which point, Philip, the geologist wizard on board, perks up and says, "Didn't the pirates want to know where we were going? I think the pirates said they wanted to know. Should we go to them first?"
I bow to my captain in all of this. By the way, is anyone a healer? Is there a healer around? I have a necrotic wound.
The ship's chaplain, who happens to be at this point also the helmsman, steps forward and goes, "I know a problem," and just heals it off and is sorted. Cure wounds.
Good.
Yep.
The paladin having failed to do so.
Yeah. Considering you did it to me, I didn't think wise to ask.
Yes, well. So there's now some discussion between different crew members about whether they should be approaching the pirates with this knowledge or just go straight there themselves. There is also a very small quotient of quite sort of militaristic naval officers who are talking about the fact that there are this naval group that the ship did considerable damage to and scuttled one of their ships, but were clearly on the side of law, and maybe they should know where this Libertalia place is.
I want to go and take my captain, slightly. Well, I just want to bend his ear, if you see what I mean.
Sure.
And say.
Yes. What is it?
I believe that we should go there without anybody else.
Why?
We will be the first spoils of the booty. Surely we
Right.
should go back and tell people if there is a problem there. We can go back and tell people that where it is if we need support.
I mean, this isn't supposed to be a sort of booty kind of place.
I understand, but at the same time, we should still definitely think about going there first. It's always good to have the primary knowledge of the place where we're going.
I have maintained throughout this entire mission that our allies and trying to make friends was very important as part of it.
Fair enough.
So maybe we
Fair
should.
enough. Old habits die hard.
I mean, look, you and I, this is your ship. You may command me where to go, but I am in charge.
that is true. That is true. Therefore, I leave it to you, but I still think we should go there first.
Golden looks at you, Beda. He's not really had much communication with you, but you are a known entity to him, and goes, "Well, Beda, look, you and I have never really talked, but I'd value your input on this."
We made a bond with these pirates.
Yes, I swore on a skull. Yeah. At which point there's a sort of grumble from the helmsman over there. In the background, your Maguru ambassador / guide Plumage, who is on board ship.
His name is Plumage.
His name, he is a bird man.
Excellent.
Oh, of course you won't know this.
Sorry.
Plumage is a half bird, half man, a species called Maguro, who are native to Hadmar, the country, the land that we're in. And he has decided that he's going to be the ship's ambassador and has started living on ship. He looks a bit like a magpie, but every now and again when he gets excited, flares of colour come up, and it's pretty clear he's trying to hide what he looks like.
Awesome. Okay, I see. Right.
Beda says, having pondered for a while, he's a deep orc.
The deep orc. Is that a sub-race of orc, is it?
Not with a capital D. He is an orc with depth.
Ah.
And so therefore when he is presented with a quandary, as he was down below, he thinks before he acts. Unless the action is ridiculous, in which case he does it.
Sure.
And he says, if we made a bond, we should honour it. That is clear.
How much honor is amongst pirates?
But I foresee no good of us going to this island.
Right, that doesn't really answer my question, does it? I mean, that's fine. You're allowed to not answer my question, but
The seas are wide and chaotic. Answers sometimes cannot be sought.
you seem to have a lot of people on board who would like to expostulate like
Absolutely,
this. I suppose that's
yeah,
part of the course.
This is why I said to you, this is what I feel like.
Are you trying to persuade him with comments like this? Are you trying to
Nope.
impart a
Nope.
sense
He has
of
been
direction?
he has been asked his opinion by
just
the
giving it straight.
captain and has given his opinion based on his own divine inklings
Sure,
and what he
sure.
gleans. But
Totally fine. Yeah. You, on the other hand, do you want to try and convince the captain to
I will
what you
try a
want?
persuasion check.
Great.
Yeah. 8.
Yes, but I rolled a critical success.
I see.
So,
Yes, no, I am no way persuaded. I wasn't committed to the persuasion, if you see what I mean.
he responds with, it's a long way to go around to go back to the Black Cove, but I do think we should involve our pirate brethren, which we have sworn brotherhood with,
Fair enough.
in this process. I think that must be said. So
Fair enough.
I am making an executive decision that we are going to go via the Black Cove.
Hoist the mainsail, mateys. I think.
He turns to Joseph and goes, do you want to get the ship going and, that stuff? Yeah, do you want to... Can you... Joseph, can you do that, Joseph? Can you... The ship starts to move. Give me some sort of atmospheric ship travel music, Chloe, if that's all right. As the ship starts to set sail again, cutting across the seas.
That was totally me. I got them to do that.
If the captain is done with his question, which it appears he is, Beda will sort of check that it is allowed that he leave, that he's not been dismissed because he's not really part of the military structure, but that his purpose here is no longer required.
Yes.
And he will wander off and he will sit, legs dangling.
Surely akimbo.
Slightly like a side of one of the balustrades of the ship's deck, with his arms on it, on the top of the deck rail, and just stare off out to sea and contemplate and look into the sunset and think about the choices that he's made. And in his hand, he's clutching the hilt of the dagger that he has taken. And he starts to think about the choices he's made.
Yes. It's clearly on his mind heavily.
Yes, absolutely. Tried to kill himself.
Josin, the head of the Marines, walks over, the commander of the Marines, walks over and leans on the balustrade next to you and looks and goes, "What's that?"
This is a relic of my time here.
Relics are powerful.
It was a powerful time. And he's got the number side face down so that he can see the words that were written on it originally. And what he's doing is he's thinking about the fact that in his panic, having read the line, he lied. And he forced a deception upon someone else. And that knowledge that he had lied and deceived someone else is what drove him to make the decision to sacrifice himself.
Do you communicate any of this to Josin?
Not directly, no. But I opened the dagger up. I opened my hand up enough so that what is written on it can be seen.
The blade is now gone.
But it's just the handle.
Just the handle. Do you let Josin take it from you? Pick it up? He's not trying to snatch it from you. He's simply trying to see the relic that you have.
He would. I think he would see Josin go to take it, and instinctively he would start to close his hand around it. But then he would look to Josin to see his intent, and say, "Choices are difficult. I feel this should be kept to remind me of the choices I make. Do you agree?" And he looks to Josin for some kind of indication.
To know when you have choice, and to then make the right choice. That, brother, is power.
Wax off.
And he takes a few steps back
Very
and
good.
leads you away.
He closes his hand back around the dagger, and he puts it back into his underneath his chainmail.
Cool. So with the ship making its way towards the Black Cove, with the pirates to be brought along to this mythical pirate island on the horizon, I think that's where we'll draw for a close on this hour. Thank you very much, guys.
That was amazing.
Thank you. And now we banter buffer. Banter.
Ice cream.
Well, okay, this isn't really banter, but this is incredible.
I know it is, isn't it?
It's absolutely amazing.
You know, she's currently signing that this is incredible. This is absolutely amazing.
I know.
Thank you for coming to watch the show, and thank you to everyone who's watching on the stream. We are running from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day for Fringe. You can always come back and see the show. You can buy player tickets and come and play on stage.
Yeah.
If you would like to.
We don't bite.
We are live streaming the whole thing at twitch.tv/adventurerswanted. We are live tweeting the whole thing at adventures250. Spread the word in person, over the internet, however you fancy. I will just now actually let someone on stage, well, two people are involved in shows elsewhere in the Fringe, so I'm going to stand to the side whilst they can plug. There's also the stream camera just up there.
Oh, is that what we're looking at? Okay, cool.
Yes,
Hi.
Tell the people as well, Edward.
Yes, there are the multitudes that are here. Yes, I
being very mean.
I'm at the moment performing in a show called Beadledom Alpha, which is on at the Iron Belly in the Underbelly at 2:50 every other day. But there is also another show which is called Beadledom Omega, which is in the same place at the same time on the days when I'm not doing it. So please come and see both, because they are interlinked and very interesting.
Want to plug any shows?
I'm not in any other shows, but I am also up here in a capacity as a programmer. So if you...
Why didn't I meet you before?
So...
Damn you, you fool.
If you have any suggestions or you want to promote your shows to me,
This is very meta.
my
Email
my Twitter handle is @theworldsetfree.
Great. Yes, I work on a whole bunch of different things up here as well as this. I'm also a freelance theatre PR. So if you pop to my website, which is Chris Hislop, hislop.com.
Like Ian, no relation.
There we go. I've clearly said it so many times, it's become an echo.
Yeah.
Then please have a look. There's all sorts of more shows, much like this one, culty, anarchic, a bit different. That's more my sort of speed.
Cool. Thanks so much. We've got a really quick turnaround to get the next game underway, so it's just out that door and have a lovely day.
Thank you,
very
guys.
much, guys.
See you soon, stream.
Bye to it, stream.
Bye.
Bye.